I get many asking me how to use football trading on Betfair to create free bets on certain outcomes so they can make money if that outcome wins, but not lose any money if it doesn't. And so in this video, I'm going to be showing you a simple strategy for creating free bets, and you'll be surprised at how easy to do this it actually is. I'm then going to show you some real life demonstrations, most importantly showing you the pros and cons of creating free bets versus just cashing out and walking away. There's a lot to learn in this video, so go grab a nice cold beer or a glass of red wine and let's get into it. So I want to keep this easy for you, and I'm going to be showing you the most simple free bet strategy, and that is when we do a back to lay to create the free bet. And it is quite easy to do, and I'm sure many experienced football traders have probably skipped past this video already. But if you are new to this and want to learn how it is done, then you are in the right place. Many of you have heard me speak about this before and say things like, I'm going to be removing the liability, and then I get emails asking exactly how I do that. Well, it's exactly what we're going to be covering here in the most simple way with a back to lay free bet strategy. So let me just explain it briefly, step by step. I'm going to give you some real life demonstrations of it as well. But basically what we do is we back an outcome, then we lay an outcome, yeah? Same stake on the same outcome. So we back with £100, then the odds shorten. They have to shorten for this to work, by the way. And then we lay with £100, and then that is it. Okay, so we back with whatever stake. Doesn't have to be £100, by the way. Back with your stake. When the odds shorten, wait for the odds to shorten, and then lay with the same stake. Okay, that is how you create that free bet. And let me just explain in a little bit more detail here. So we've got Tottenham against Brentford, and let's just say we want to back Brentford here with £100, as you can see, backing them at 7.4. So just as a regular bet, backing Brentford at 7.4 with £100, it's going to give us £640 of profit. However, we want to create a free bet. So we let the match go in play, and let's say Brentford take the lead, they go 1-0 up, and at some point in the match, their odds drop to around this number here, 3. So they've gone in from 7.4, the odds have shortened into 3, so we've backed with £100, we lay with £100. So when we backed them, it had £640 of profit. When we're laying them, it's going to be £200 of loss. However, because they're happening on the same outcome, it's just going to leave us with this free bet on Brentford of £440. And our liability has been removed. Okay, so we had a liability on Tottenham or the draw. That's now been removed. And we have a free bet on Brentford. And if they go on to win, we would win that £440. If it's a draw or Tottenham win, then we break even. We don't lose any money. Okay, that's why it is a free bet. And so if you are pretty new to football trading, then you probably see the most standard way that a lot of football traders like to do is to green it up and cash it out. Okay, so let me just show you in the same scenario, if we were to back Brentford at the price we backed them at, and then we got their price shortened into 3, then we could cash out for this amount, okay, £146 across all the outcomes. So you can kind of see the big difference here, okay? So it's a free bet letting it run on Brentford, which could make you £440, or it's a guaranteed profit, but it is much lower, £146, okay? So this is where the whole dilemma starts to lie with creating free bets and all that sort of thing. But you can see the difference there. £440 of a free bet versus cashing it out here and taking the £146. Okay, so generally, here is the thing. When you want to use the free bet versus cashing it out and locking it in, is that you are going to make bigger profits with the free bet. You just saw that example there, and I'm going to show you some more examples to kind of give you a more realistic view of all of it. But there are bigger profits to be made if you were to hold out for the free bet. But obviously, that bet might not always win. So you are going to have a higher strike rate via the cash out. And that is what a lot of beginners love, especially. Beginners really, really love high strike rates. I've definitely learned that. So these are the main kind of pros and cons that you have to consider if you are going to use the free bet versus the cash out. Do you want the bigger profits, or do you want that more consistent strike rate? But the most important thing to keep in mind, I would always say, is that there is no one size fits all with this. Okay, so I can't definitely tell you always take the free bet or always cash out, because there are just so many different scenarios and different variables that can happen in football trading. And in some cases, it's probably best to let it run as a free bet. In other cases, it is better to just try and cash out and take the money and go. But with time and experience, you will begin to learn which ones are the better ones to go for. But I'm going to give you some real life demonstrations so you can see how it actually plays out in the Betfair market. Okay, that Tottenham-Brentford example, that wasn't real. I just demonstrated that, but I'm going to show you some real life demonstrations that we're going to get into right now. But before we check out those demonstrations, I would love it if you could click the like button of this video, and if you do like this sort of content, that will help you to get more videos like this show up in your feed, and it also helps me to know which videos you guys really want so I can make more of them. So click the like button if you're enjoying what you see, and if you are new here, then make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. That means you get all the new videos straight away. There are some videos that are only up for a short period of time, so this way you will not miss any of those videos. Okay, once you've done that, let's dive into the real life examples of this simple free bet strategy. So we're involved in this match from the Belgium League, St. Troiden against Beerschot, and we backed St. Troiden early in the first half because they were pretty dominant, and we backed them at a price of around 2.08 with £200 stake, okay, as you can see. So the good news is they've taken the lead, and as you can see here, the price has crashed in, which is exactly what we want. So now it's a case of trading out, and do we take the cash out or do we take the free bet, removing our liability? So let me show you here is that basically to create a free bet, we backed with £200. So it's a case of then laying with £200. So when it's a back to lay to create a free bet, it's very, very simple. Okay, you just lay with the same amount that you backed with, and that's what we're doing right here. So we're laying with 1.37, and now you can see that gives us a free bet of £141 on St. Troiden and break even on all the other outcomes. But let me show you here is that the cash out is offering us £101, and that would lock in a profit. However, that is pretty much a 40% increase. Okay, so if we were to cash out and take £100 versus taking a free bet, letting it run as a free bet increases our profits by 40%. So that is not to be sniffed at. That is a pretty significant profit increase. Okay, so that is something you have to keep in mind when you are deciding, do you want to take the free bet or do you want to just take the cash out and move on? There's lots of different factors, but a 40% profit increase is something you should really strongly consider trying to play for. Now, if you back St. Troiden before the goal and they were value, well, if you still think they're value, let it run on them, okay? If you have any sort of inkling that they no longer represent value and that they might concede the equaliser, then maybe you should consider cashing out. However, what you can do is just do what we've done here. Let it run as a free bet, see if maybe they can double the lead. If not, if it gets close, then we cash it out, okay? So I kind of stumbled on this match just looking through the sheets, and I saw Empoli looking pretty strong for a home win on this one. And then I had a look and I saw that they were losing, okay? So watch just a few minutes of this second half, and Empoli really pushing for the equaliser. So we backed Empoli at odds of 9 with just £18, okay? So it gives us £144 of profit potential. Now Empoli have equalised and the price has now steamed in, right? So it's gone in from 9 into 2.96 at the moment. Now the cash out is offering us £36, okay? £35 there. But just creating a free bet, let's just put that in, gives us the profit potential there of £108, okay? So that is something to keep in mind, because that is a significantly larger profit than just taking the cash out, okay? When you think that our risk was £18, well, the cash out is kind of offering us twice what we risked, which doesn't sound too bad initially. However, we were back in odds of 9, right? So we were back in like pretty much an 8-to-1 shot. So you have to kind of think about the probability. I mean, if we were to just cash out in this particular example, we were pretty much taking 2-1 on what is an 8-1 shot. So in this situation, it probably is much better to let that free bet ride and leave it on Empoli, and then let's see if Empoli can take the lead from here. If they don't, finish as a draw, then we break even. If Ascoli go on a win, we break even. We don't lose any money. But if we can get Empoli to get ahead, we can then lock in a significant bigger part of this profit potential if we even wanted to lock it in, or we could just step away, let it run, and check the final score later on. So here is a situation where I would definitely say you want to be taking the free bet over the cash out. Okay, I think this is definitely a good example of the time when you want to be taking that free bet and then seeing what happens after that. So anyway, Empoli won, Ascoli won. You know, like I said, I'm not going to cash this out. I'm going to let it run. If Empoli can win, great. If not, I don't lose any money. And you can kind of see the goal there as well. Pretty nice header. Okay. So anyway, like I said, just a quick example showing you of why you might want to let the free bet run rather than cashing it out. Okay. So we're going to look at a little bit of a different approach here. So in this match, we backed Shao, if I pronounce that correctly. We backed them 2.46 using a £250 stake. And now the home team, as I'll just call them, have taken the lead. And their price has shortened significantly. Okay. So now we backed with £250. Now let's lay with £250 and leave that free bet on the home team. Okay, I'm going to put it in there at 1.2, and then hopefully that will get taken shortly, but it's going to give us there a free bet of £315 sitting on the home team versus that cash out there of £186. Okay, well, okay, what was it, 113? Okay, well anyway, whatever the cash out amount is there, you can see it there. But you can see our free bet is going to be significantly higher than that. I think the Betfair cash out is a bit messed up at the moment because it can't be that much of a difference. But anyway, what we're going to do is that obviously we backed the home team because they were dominant, and now we're going to see if they're still going to be dominant. There's only 65 minutes played in this one, and if they can keep up their dominance and go 2-0 up, well, then we definitely don't need to cash it out, because then we're 2 goals away from the match being leveled, and we really, really can let it run. So let's let this run as a free bet for the next 10 minutes or so and see what happens there, see if they can double the lead, and then from there we can kind of make our decision. Okay, so all right, so finally we can see the true cash out there. Okay, it is 250 on the cash out. Okay, all right, so anyway, now we understand it. 258 on the cash out, 315 on the free bet. But we're going to let this run and see if that home team can double the lead. Let's see what happens. So we're here in the 82nd minute now, and it is still 1-0 to the home team. They haven't increased the lead. They haven't conceded an equaliser. But with only 8 minutes plus the stoppage time left, maybe now is the time to just take the cash out, because obviously an equaliser for the away team leaves not much time left in the match for the home team to then take the lead. So maybe now this is when you might want to consider taking the cash out, and we're just going to take that, and it's going to be a 278 cash out. So by waiting, we've actually increased the profit compared to if we had cashed out a little bit earlier as well. So there is an additional reason why it can be worth waiting. So you might argue as well, obviously the away team could have equalised in the time we were trying to wait for the home team to score another goal. But then you could also say, well, if they equalise early on, there's still time for that home team to then retake the lead once again. However, an equaliser now would be pretty damaging, and there's probably going to be no time for for the home team to get back in front. So these could be the times when it is, obviously up to you, where you just think, hey, do you know what? I've tried to let the free bet run. They haven't put the game to bed. Let's now take the cash out. And you can do that as well. There's so many options with football trading. So just wanted to show you that there as well. This might be something that you really might want to consider as you move forward. Try and play for the free bet. If it doesn't progress in the way you want it to, then take the cash out rather than just rushing in to take the cash out. But anyway, we have now profited no matter what the outcome in this one. 1-0 to the home team, 84 minutes on the clock. And just to demonstrate a slightly different situation where you might want to take the cash out instead of the free bet, just going to demonstrate this here. In this match, we backed the draw, okay? So back the draw around 3.35 with £100. Now, obviously, the price on the draw, because it's stayed 0-0, has been shortening, okay? As you can see there, we all know how that works, I'm sure. So what we can do is, obviously, we can now create a free bet. So let's lay the draw with £100. And you'd see that would give us a free bet there of £68.90, and it's actually ticking down even more. So it would give us a free bet there of £72. However, in this situation, you might want to take the cash out. Actually, let me just make the free bet while we're here, just while I explain it. But in this situation, you might want to take the cash out, because we all know as football traders, and we know how the draw price works, and we know that any goal to either Marbella or to Valladolid is going to cause the draw price to rise, and then it's going to be kind of hard to get out of that situation looking, well, with a decent profit anyway. And so, depending on your kind of trading plan, you might just say, do you know what, I'm going to take this profit here of the £27, and then I'm going to maybe trade with that later on, or do something with that later on, rather than having to survive for, the second half, final 5 minutes of this first half, and the whole second half without a goal going in. So a lot can depend on your game plan as well, whether it is the free bet you go for or the cash out. But this early in the game, trading on the draw, yeah, you might just want to just take this profit and then see what happens a little bit later on in the match. But of course, all this is totally up to you. I'm just putting this out here as another example of why it isn't quite so black and white about what you should do, whether it is letting it go for a free bet or the cash out. Anyway, just another one to show you right there. And if you've been enjoying this and you want to see more real-life trading demonstrations, then do check out my free football trading strategy class by clicking the link in the description. In there, I will give you a sneak peek at all the football trading strategies that are working for me, alongside real-life demonstrations similar to the ones you've just seen, including all of the trades you can actually see on the screen right now, and much, much more. So if you want to see how all these trades were done, what strategies were used, then check it out, okay? It's free to check out, but it's not available on YouTube. So you have to click the link in the description if you want to see more of that. But now you guys have seen the free bet strategy play out, and in the demonstrations I showed you the free bet compared to the cash out. You've probably got a good idea of which you prefer. However, there's probably some that are still stuck and wondering which is the more profitable angle. Well, let me summarize all of this from my own experience, and it goes a little bit like this. I would definitely say that cashing out, greening up, walking away is great for beginners. And those who have done my course will know that that is one thing I do suggest in the course, is that when you're using these strategies in the beginning, is that you just cash out, equalize the profits, and walk away. And I know that this is great for beginners, because when you are a beginner, you kind of want to build up your confidence. And for a lot of beginners, it feels like it's a lot of hard work just to make that green screen. So a lot of beginners are going to struggle to do all that hard work, see the green screen available, but if they were to lock in a free bet and then still not make any money, well, it's hard for many beginners to kind of get their head around. However, once you are more experienced, then you should definitely start using the free bets more and trying to raise your profits, because I showed you in all those real life demonstrations the big difference in the profit levels if you were to let it run as a free bet compared to just exiting and taking the cash out. So I can totally understand and why it is great for beginners to use the cash out. It's definitely a confidence thing. But once you are more experienced, well, you don't need it so much. You really shouldn't be in a position where, if you're an experienced football trader, you create a free bet, but then it doesn't come in, so you end up breaking even, where it's going to affect your confidence. You have to, by this point anyway, you have to be in a position where you can just take it and just move on and just say, well, I'm okay with that. I know that if I let it run as a free bet, I'm going to be making more money, so I'm happy to let it run. If it doesn't come in, I will wait until the next opportunity. But obviously a lot of beginners, that is a struggle to kind of get their head around. But yeah, once you are more experienced, definitely start looking at using free bets more, because then you are racing your profits, okay? However, look at this. this final tip that I'm going to be giving you here is keep records and see what actually works best. Whenever you exit a trade, head to your spreadsheet or however you record all your trades. And no matter what you do, whether you take the cash out or whether you take the free bet, okay, record both profit outcomes, okay, record the cash out amount and then also record the free bet amount. And then obviously if that free bet actually wins. And then look at your own records over 10, 50, 100 trades, and you might be surprised by what you see. Because I do think that if you were to just look at all the free bets and compare it to the cash out, I reckon the free bet outcome would be making you more money in the long term and you would be more profitable that way. However, who knows? Who knows? Only your own records can really tell you that. So that is why it's important. Keep the records and record them both. Record the cash out amount, record the free bet amount, and then further on down the line, you can actually see what move would actually be making you more money. And if it is the free bets, you'll probably be a lot more confident about just sticking to the free bets. If it is the cash out, then great. Okay, no problem there. Just take the cash outs and ignore the free bets. But only by keeping the records, recording your own data, will you truly know which is the more profitable move. So give that a go for sure. And well, while you're here as well, I mean, what do you prefer? Taking the cash out or locking in the free bet and leaving it? If there's anyone watching this video who has their own data on it as well, it would be great for you to let all of us know in the comments about which actually makes more money for you in the long term. Okay, we know that doing the cash out probably makes more money in the short term, but what about the long term? It would be definitely good to hear your comments and your experiences with taking the cash out or letting it run as a free bet. Okay. And if you didn't do it earlier on, then definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you will get all the new sports trading live videos as soon as they come out. And if you like this video and you want to see more, there's a couple other really good videos on the screen for you to check out. So click on one of those and I will see you in the next video.